Greetings and welcome back to Pasta with Pasta. Another week, and today we're doing a request again. So let's draw one and see what I have to buy in terms of ingredients. I got one, and it is macaroni with chili con carne by Dark Princess. Okay, so it will be a chili day. The next day will be burning, I suppose. Anyway, I shall get the ingredients for that and get started. Thanks again, Dark Princess, for the request, and you shall see how I will do this. See you in a few minutes. Right, now I'm ready to show some ingredients. So, first of all, just as always, some pasta. Because Dark Princess requested macaroni, we will do macaroni. For the pasta we need some salt, as per usual. And then in terms of the sauce, we need some minced beef. We will need a preferably red onion. Normal onion is good as well. And of course, as always, you can leave it away as well. We will need a tin of kidney beans. We will need wine. You will see why later. We will need some instant soup stock, preferably beef soup stock. We will need some tomato paste. We will need some oil for frying the minced meat. And now in terms of seasoning. We want it to be hot, so I suggest using Tabasco or a hot sauce of your choice. We will need some rosemary, some thyme, some ground garlic, some paprika. You can either use the sweet paprika or the hot paprika. It's up to you. I only have the sweet one, so I'm using that. And we shall use cayenne pepper, because it's always awesome for spicy food. Optionally, I will do pretty much the same like I did with my fresh bolognese recipe. So I will doing a beef soup stock, adding tomato paste and adding wine, and cook that for about an hour. Optionally, you can of course use some passata as well. This is optional instead of doing like a bolognese sauce. Optionally, you can add some corn, sweet corn as well. I won't do that today because I'm only cooking for myself, and that would be too much in terms of the sauce. Anyway, however you want to do this, let's start cooking. So, today we are not starting with the pasta, we are starting with the red onion, so I shall skin it alive as per usual, and then, come on now, cut it into little pieces. There we go, skin it alive. Don't need those little horrible bits. And then we want to have some slices like this, and ones in this direction. And now, with a bigger knife, of course, that is easier if you are somewhat trained. I am not really, so yeah, I'm doing the newbie approach to cutting onions and stuff. Maybe sometime I can get better, but for now, that shall suffice as it is. Boop, and a boop, and a boop. And onions, neatly cut. And in terms of preparation, that is pretty much all we have to do for now. Because now we can already start with frying the stuff. So add some oil. We need a little bit more because that pot isn't non-sticky. Turn up the heat, not to maximum level, but a little bit under that. I can put the onions in already, so in you go. cutting board goes away. Onion goes in there. I now take a spatula, chop them down a little bit more, and now wait for them to start frying. If they do, I can add the meat. So yeah, why don't I skip ahead a minute or so and show you when it starts frying. There we go, the pot is now somewhat warmish, so I can now start moving the onions around in the oil so they get a little bit glacious. Did I say glacious? I always forget what they actually say. A little bit transparent, let's put it that way. So we don't want to fry them to death, we just want to get them a little bit of color and nothing more. Push them around. Be careful that they don't burn to the bottom of the pot. Pretty much the usual. Ooh, now I'm getting a little bit tears in my eyes. This onion is a little bit more spicy, or I don't know. The onions don't want to be cooked, but they can't escape, and I can now add the meat. Booyah. There we go. Put that away and cut it down. Well, okay, it is already cut down, but put it into smaller pieces so you can fry it somewhat better. Boop. And now we fry it until you don't have any reddish parts left on the meat. Be careful, stir it sometimes, and don't let it burn to the bottom. Starting to look good. So now turn down the heat to about 2/3 of your maximum level, and now we'll add tomato paste. Yeah, I could use a spoon, but no. Add 2 tablespoons, 3, 4? Make it 5. 4 to 5 tablespoons, I think. Yeah, sounds about right. I want it to taste a little bit like tomato, and because I'm not using passata, but doing the long way around, I have to add the right amount of tomato paste. So now push it around. What we also can add right now is rosemary. Rosemary is something you can use as well for frying, because it tends to not get bitter. There we go. And continue our endeavor to mix this and to get it to having a little bit more flavor, at least tomato flavor. Right, that is thoroughly mixed, so now we will add the red wine. Make sure it's a dry red wine. This one is from, I don't really care, from Western Germany. There we go. Put it in. There we go. Now we have to wait until the wine cooks. All the alcohol has to go away. We don't want to taste alcohol, we just want the flavor of the wine. So, stir it, so the alcohol can actually put everything into a nice solution, and wait for it to cook. You can now toss up the heat level again a notch. I'm now on 7.5 of 9, so what is that? About 80% heat? No idea. Yeah, and I will now wait until it's cooking. And usually that takes 1 or 2 minutes, so I will see you then. This is exactly how it's supposed to look. the alcohol will now just fly away. Until that happens, let's prepare the instant soup stock. So let me see, I have a quarter liter of water, 250 milliliters. Dosing is important. I don't want it to be too salty. I made that mistake with the bolognese. So I'm not using as much. 1 heaped spoonful should be enough. And then just mix it and put it away for later. And keep watching the wine evaporating away. Okay, that is for later. Stir every now and then so it doesn't burn. But yeah, we have to cook this now for approximately, I say, 2, 3, 4 minutes, somewhat around, something around that. And until that happens, well, you can prepare the other stuff if you haven't already. I have prepared the soup, so I can now take the kidney beans and put away the water and wash them, because they are in a horrible starch thingamajig. Yeah, I shall wash them, so that's what I do, and I suppose you do the same, and I shall see you back in 2 or 3 minutes. Alright, now about 2 minutes later. Most of the alcohol has gone now, so what I can do now is add the soup stock and turn down the heat, because the rest of this just has to slowly cook for about half an hour. So, instant soup stock, in it goes, away with this. I washed the beans, as you can see, but we shall add them later so they don't overcook. Mix it and put it down to a small or medium heat. I will put it down to level 3.5 of my 9 levels, so about 1/3 to 40% heat. And you can... Where is my lid? Yes, it's a little bit wet, but that should do. Okay, you can put a lid on there, and now just wait for half an hour. And every 5 to 10 minutes you should go ahead, look at it and stir it a little bit so it doesn't burn. But for now, leave it alone for about 30 minutes, and I shall see you back then in said 30 minutes. Right, 10 minutes have passed. I think now is the time to add some spices. So, get that hot sauce, Tabasco, or whatever you are using out, and add the amount you would like to have in it. Then I can now use thyme as well. As much as I want. Some ground garlic. The paprika. What the fuck is this small thingamajig? That should be enough. And some cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper is, yeah, you have to carefully use it if you don't know how it works, because cayenne pepper has the habit of only kicking in after you taste it. It doesn't hit you directly, the spiciness, but it will take its time to slowly rape you. Anyways, let's wait another 10 minutes and look how it's going then. Another 10 minutes have passed. Now it smells actually like it's a bit hot. Well, that is what we want now, isn't it? Anyway, so now what we can do is add the beans. Boop, in there you go. Stir it again. And leave the lid away for now. Ouch. Hey, you stay there. That was a bit hot. Anyways, we need pasta water. Could have prepared that before, but meh. Yeah, but pasta water. Put some salt in there, as per usual. Turn on the heat, maximum level, and later add the pasta. What I will do though is not cook the pasta entirely, but I will only cook it 5 minutes of the 7 minutes which stand on the package, and the rest they will cook in the sauce. So they actually get a little bit of flavor of that, and hopefully it actually works. So it's more like a casserole thingamajig. Anyways, I can turn up the heat to 5, so medium heat on this one, so it actually reduces a little bit. All the ingredients are more than cooked in there, and yeah, we shall see if I use the right amount of spices, because I get the impression I might have used a little bit too much Tabasco, but we shall see. Anyways, I shall bring you back in when I start cooking the pasta. As you see, the cooking will start again on this one. And because of the starch from the beans and the starch from the tomato paste, it will thicken quite nicely, I hope. Anyways, see you back in a few minutes. So, pasta water is cooking. So let's turn down the heat on the pasta water to a medium level. Add the pasta. 5 minutes on the timer, as you can see, instead of 7, as I said. Stir the pasta every now and then. And now we wait for the 5 minutes to pass. And stir the sauce as well every now and then, as you should be doing already. Yeah, and I shall bring you back in well, now 4.5 minutes, and show you the last step until we can serve. So, see you back in 4.5 minutes. The timer has beeped, so I will turn down the heat to 0 on the pasta stove. Get rid of the pasta water. There we go. Come on now. There we go. They didn't want to, but they have to. Anyways, now there is 2 options. Either you take some of the sauce away to freeze, or just like I do, this. Put another, how much shall we do? First of all, stir it, because yeah, we want everything to be nice and even. Now the starch from the pasta should as well thicken up the sauce a bit. Where's the lid? Hey, where's the lid? There's the lid. Already put it into the dishwasher. Yeah, put the lid back on. Put 8 minutes on the clock. Yeah, seems alright. And leave it on a small heat, about 1/3 to 40%. And afterwards, we shall be done and serving. So leave it alone for 8 minutes on the small to medium heat. So about 1/3, I would say. And I shall see you back when I'm ready to serve. So, until then. So, time has nearly run out, so I would say, this actually looks quite good. So, fuck off timer. Turn down the heat to 0 on all stoves. Let us see. Yeah, exactly what I wanted. So, the pasta has now absorbed most of the sauce, and yeah, the beans and the flesh are still there, but yeah, mostly absorbed. So we are now finished and I'm ready to serve, so I shall see you back at my table. And here we go, macaroni with a sort of chili con carne. Thank you again, Dark Princess, for the request. I hope you will enjoy this. As I said, there are other ways to do it. This was one I thought about on top of my head, so there we go. Anyways, if you have a request what you want me to cook, just post it in the comments below. And yeah, maybe even next time or the time after that, I will already make your request. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed, like, comment, share and subscribe. And I certainly hope to see you next time as well. Until then, yours faithfully, the Pastafarian.